So this week, we have more information about what happened to the module that Japan sent to the moon, and let's see what we can learn from there. So this project is called SLIM. Let's see if I can go all the way to the top here. So this is a SLIM project, and just because I want to say what it is, I forget the acronym. But anyway, the information I have here is the information in Japanese, the information that was communicated to us on the 20th or the 25th of this month. So if you look, this is a picture of the SLIM module sent by NASA on the moon. Okay, so if you look at it, it seems okay. However, if you look at the engine is up here. Let's see if I can make it bigger for you. The engine, the boosters are right here, and the solar panel are right on the west side here. Now, interestingly enough, we have a module that made it to the moon, which is fantastic. Second, it reached the ground and stayed in one piece. This is also fantastic. However, somehow it did not land the way we wanted. So here we have the legs at the bottom on the left side of the picture. This was supposed to be on the ground. The solar cells here were supposed to face up so it could gather energy. Now it's facing on the side where there's no sun. So I don't know if we'd see it very nicely here, but I saw this week, shadow is on this side. So we have the solar panel on the dark side. Problem, not enough energy to be able to fill the batteries to get all the equipment and telemetry to work well. Now, it's been a success for many things. One reason is, first of all, the module is not broken. It seems to be just upside down or on its side. So that means that they were able to make it to the moon. Second piece of information that is interesting is this one right here. So this was supposed to be the landing site, and it was within 50 meters of the landing site. That means that it was able to achieve its first goal, reaching the moon. First, we wanted to land on the moon. Second, within 100 meters square on where we wanted it to be. This is quite amazing because keep in mind that sending something to the moon is hard. Second, there's no atmosphere to slow down the equipment we want to send on the moon. And it's been very, very hard to send moon landers there. From what I know, is sometimes the precision was within a few kilometers. So think about that. You want to send something on the moon, but it lands within a few kilometers. So if you want to have a small settlement or like a scientific outpost on the moon with humans in there, and you want to send resources, food and water to the moon, but then the resources land within a few kilometers. Think of the energy and resources just for humans to go and get it and back. This is an amazing success because if we are to send resources on the moon, we do know that from what the Japanese were able to do, we can be doing this within 100 meters. This is amazing. That's a breakthrough, actually. I was looking at some information. That was a graph that we had. So from here, you could see the speed. So it was constant speed without any atmosphere. They need to use the rockets to slow down. It was able to slow down here, but we can see here just moments before it landed, then they had some difficulties with the reading of where they wanted to do. Either it was tumbling, we don't know yet. However, it was close enough to the ground that it did not break. So this is quite nice. Let's see what are the, oh yes, there's something else important that I need to talk about. How did we get this picture? The amazing part of this picture, so here's another picture from the object that was able to get the picture. You can see we have something that is very close to the ground. Let's see here. Here's another example. We have a picture of that is close to the ground. So here's the English version of that picture, and they gave a little dog name to these little pieces of rocks. These pieces of rocks are most likely smaller than a golf ball. I don't know exactly how big they are. I would say they are less than a couple centimeters at best. So let's see if I can figure out how they got this. They got the picture from the Lunar Excursion Vehicle 2. Look at this. I talked about it last week a little bit. This is that was created by an inventor that creates toy. This is about the size of a tennis ball. So when we had Slim that reached the moon, this was able to escape and be able to go into the soil. Now, the principle of this is that we have a sphere that opens up, and then we have little battery, and these are turning and not in sync, sideways. So it allows this to move and see different things, especially with the camera that seems that to be from the two sides here. Let's go back to our pictures. So here's a picture here, and here's a picture there, and we have this one. So first of all, we know that this invention works. Second, I'm sure that it will become a toy in this year. It's something that went to the moon, technology works, and we can send the information back. So here we have the Japanese that were able to do something amazing. Now, is it a total success? Not a total success. However, one of the main criteria for this mission, which was a landing precision, that was done without any problem. We'll see if eventually some humans will be able to get close, put it back on its leg so that it can do further work. This we'll see in the future. So that is the first piece of information I wanted to share with you today, because this happened last week. There's always a lot of things that we can learn from. Second topic related to astronomy is this small helicopter called Ingenuity. And let's see if I had there was a better picture somewhere. There we go. So we have this picture here. So we have sent a small helicopter on Mars. However, we had some difficulties this week, and the scientists basically retired Ingenuity. I think it's one of the wings here that had difficulties when rotating, and it can no longer take off. Now, the beauty with this, it was not part of the initial main project. The main project was what we called the Perseverance rover that was sent in 2020 and reached Mars in 2021. So the whole idea here is that from February 18th to now, 3 years of data of amazing research and testing happened. Now you can see the rover, the small helicopter. So it's basically from this idea that what if we could send a drone? So that was a company in a few years before they sent the rover saying, can we just have a little package go along? Because we want to test the technology of having a small helicopter. So what they did is they did something fairly small that was attached at the bottom of the rover, so that once the rover was opened up, this could just land on the ground, and then they did some experimentation. Now, this is not very big. This is about 1.8 kilograms. There's some dimension. Let's see if I can find the dimensions for you. And by the way, I put the link of all the pictures here in the links below. There was some data that we have here. There you go. So the wingspan is about 1.2 meters. And I was wondering of the dimension of the box. They don't mention it here. But amazingly enough, I remember when they opened up the small helicopter, the first flight that they did, everybody was excited, because for the first time, we could have an independent module that could move around on the planet. So it did 72 flights. Flight time of about 2 hours, so 128 minutes. Distance flown about 17 kilometers. Max speed at 10 meters per second, and the highest altitude is 24 meters. Keeping in mind that the atmosphere on Mars is much thinner, and therefore this was a feat in itself. So if I can go back, so look at this piece of information. So here, nowadays we do like drone. We use drone for all kind of reasons. We have videos on the internet with people playing with drones, and we can do a lot. Interestingly enough, this was a project that was sent to Mars to see how we can use this technology. So through the Perseverance rover, we had a communication center here. So information from the helicopter was sent to the rover, and from the rover, it had enough power to send the information to Earth. Now, I remember in the last couple of years, The helicopter had some issues at some point. It had flown a bit further than expected. Then we lost touch of communicating with it. And then at some point, it was able to come back. I think it had issues with the battery. But still, we had a drone that worked for 3 years on another planet. So this is good. It will allow, for example, transportation of equipment from a small area, and instead of using humans, and for safety, that is amazing. If you think about this is very close to what, for example, a company would use on Earth to transport packages from one part to another. And I'm sure you've heard that Amazon is looking into using drones for delivering packages. So this is a stunt for marketing. Otherwise, for scientists, it is quite amazing. Now, I also was doing my research about the Perseverance rover. And interestingly enough, I saw that for raw images, it sent more than 300,000 images in the last 3 years. So that means that we've seen a lot of information. So if you look at some of these pictures, it allowed scientists, geographers, and also engineers, first of all, to be able to move the rover safely. But it allows scientists and different geographers to try to figure out what happened to the surface of this planet that we haven't stepped on. We'll see what happens in the future. I'm sure we're going to go. I don't know exactly when the first human will go, but it is quite exciting. And indeed, some of these pictures have been about the rover itself. And I was looking a couple of weeks ago about how they actually drilled the surface to do rock samples. Now, keep in mind that when you have rock samples, something that is interesting is that they did the rock sampling. They have a drill over there on the rover, and the whole idea here is that it drills and and then took the rock sample and put it in a package and left the package behind. The whole idea here is that eventually, if you could send either a rover, or even if you think of a drone like this to pick up each of these packages and send them back to Earth, that would be amazing. And I do suspect that this will happen before humans can actually go on Mars. Anyway, this is quite amazing. I was hoping to be able to see an example. It was in the news about how they were using the drilling to show, oh, well, it happens. You know, when you do research and you're online and then you lose track of time, and it's very hard to figure out what has been done. See, I don't see but if you think about it, amazing pictures that we're able to see. That's amazing. Anyway, every time I go, I don't know if you're excited, I put the links below. You can go and see those nicely. And this is the main project I wanted to talk to you about exploration. So here we have the helicopter that is being retired. We can't wait to see what we're going to send next to Mars. I know that SpaceX is working on a few things, so we'll see in the near future what will happen. On this, if you've enjoyed this video, you'll see I'm putting videos about astronomy, about the space exploration, about technology related to space traveling. The whole idea here is that the more we talk about it, the more we understand. That brings you ideas that could lead to either softwares you might create, hardware you might create, or being involved with the whole program. Because the more we are investing in space exploration, the more this technology comes to us to make Earth, life here on our planet, the best thing possible. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget that if you have clarification questions, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And I'm going to put here a video about space exploration that I did last week. You'll see you learned something amazing.